It's hobby love time. Hello, everyone. Long time no see. I know it's been a while since I did a hobby love, but since I've been doing a lot of PT and physical training for military service. Quick update on that, by the way. My disqualification from MEPS has been upheld. I will not be going to military service. That being said, that means I'm back at it with more time dedicated to YouTube and getting back in the swing of things over here. So I hope you guys are looking forward to more content. Hope you guys are looking forward to more Hobby Love videos as well as painting streams, gaming streams, the whole lot. We're gonna come back in full swing since I've now got the time. But anyway, without any kind of further ado or much sprinkling of anything else, let's jump right into the Hobby Love and stay tuned for the very end for a few more updates in regards to some plans with the channel. Let's get going. By the way, all of the Hobby Love highlights for today are being grabbed from Lord of Metal Man's hashtag Hobby Love 194. This was done back in December. This was a Christmas Hobby Love he did. And I did look through these, and I did like a bunch of them. And as much as I want to highlight Chaos Creation Minis stuff, I've done it so many times on these Hobby Loves. You can take a break, my friend. But that just being said, as we're eyeballing and scrolling through here, sexy as hell, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I'm sorry, I love that so much. Never mind, we're gonna highlight this real quick. Fucking A, dude, like this is just so amazing. Holy crap. I can hear the TMNT song in the back of my head. Just looking at these. Oh, God. I love it. I love it. Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so good. That's so good. I don't think anyone could argue that. That's so good. Ah. But yeah, all of the highlights today are grabbed from this Hobby Love. As far as I know, Lord Metalman hasn't done a more recent one. So hopefully he hosts another one. But if he doesn't, I'll certainly look around as much as I can in other spots for people sharing their minis and stuff who might want to get highlighted here. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out Lord Metalman as always and hop on into the Hobby Loves. So the first one we got here is from Alistair, or at Alistair Rec, or underscore Rex, my apologies. And he says, playing my Dark Angel, not playing mine, playing some Dark Angels today, which are presumably his since they're being showcased. And I really love the paint scheme off the bat. So normally when we think of like the Dark Angels theme, it's either that like darker green, Caliban green, or it's the old school black color that they used to be in like older editions. I always love it when people mix up the color schemes and themes of particular chapters or legions. Granted, you do it too much, and you can completely lose the identity of the legion or chapter in question that you're calling back to or you're calling upon. But that being said, the color scheme you went through here with the red, the black, and the gold, I think still feels like Dark Angels. Not completely. I will say this. If I didn't see his post there, what it says, like playing some Dark Angels today, my assumption, just eyeballing it, obviously due to the crosses with the skull in the center, and also the aesthetic of some of these models like this one, I would assume a variant of Black Templar, not Dark Angels. That wouldn't be my first guess. And to be fair, he hasn't given us a lot of details with just his post, so maybe these actually are typically Black Templars for him, but just because he wants to play the rules of Dark Angels and use unique stratagems to them, he's switching it up just for the tournament or the match he's playing of that particular day, using the models that he has, but switching what chapter he's doing. That might be what happened here. That it does make me think that, given again these crosses here and the aesthetic of some of these other models being far more of that, knight vibe, that crusading knight of the Templars that we typically think of. Plus, for me, it makes more sense for them to have a predominant black and then a red or a gold trim of things like that. Maybe that's my own biases and my own thought process there. But if it was meant to be Dark Angels from the get-go, I will say if there's like one criticism I'll throw out there immediately, the color scheme doesn't work for Dark Angels specifically. But that's the worst I have to say. Everything else is only compliments for me. I love the color scheme. The cleanliness of the paint is really, really solid. like, I'm very impressed with the line work, because I don't see any, like, just kind of eyeballing through the image, I don't see anywhere where he, like, over painted or he accidentally, you know, got details on the wrong spots for a given model. Everything is very cleanly done. All the colors are blocked in perfectly, and I really do like the scheme throughout the army is very cohesive and very consistent. So I don't know if these were batch painted. If they were, very well done. If they weren't, even more well done that you kept it so consistent. Because that would, I think that's my biggest problem, is I rarely patch paint. So sometimes my armies can look a little deviated as, you know, you go through the models. With the exception of my orc army. I've got that scheme down so much, I could paint 2 models within my orc army years apart, and they will look perfectly synergized. But any other faction I work on, sometimes it can, especially if the model's more detailed, it can lead to me producing more unique details on a given model or colors on a different model that aren't on previous ones in the same army, and they can look like they don't belong. But here, clearly that's not a problem. I really love the cleanliness. I really do need to highlight. It's just so good, and everything is blocked out so well. Another bit of criticism I guess I'll throw, but to be fair, this might have been a time constraint thing, especially if this was batch painted for like a tournament or something, and you were like trying to get it out as soon as possible. I can totally understand why this wasn't done, but the bases do leave something to be desired. They're just bland and black, and in this case over here, there's a bit of runoff from the brushwork onto the tabard. It's small potatoes, though, in the grand scheme of things. I mean, you can add basing material after the fact now, and even if you like kind of get it on some of the model that's existing there, if anything, it'll look like just part of the weathering and part of like what helps them settle themselves in the environment or the terrain you might set up for their individual bases. So overall, not really much of a negative. This is very clean work, very beautiful work, very minor criticisms overall, and very well done, Alistair. I can't wait to see more from what you do in the future. Alright, next up we have some more models highlighted from Gaz 1688 VVVV, and it's at the same exact name, so that makes it easier. I really love this model that we're taking a look at right now. Sorry, these models. The two that are highlighted here. I'll address it first, because it's the elephant in the room, and it's such a beautiful elephant in the room. I love the lava effect, dude. I really do. I can't do lava effect to save my life. If I can find an image of it, I'll put it up. I'll put it in the editing here. But I did a commission of a custom Sanguinius model for a bud, and I had to do a lava cracked effect on the base, and it didn't come out as well as I would have liked. It was my first time doing that poignant of like a lava base before. I've never done that before. Never had the opportunity to do before as well, because most of the time when, like with my own armies, I like my orcs, they have a Mars desert base. For my Black Templars, they have a kind of dirt and snow and ice terrain. And for my World Eaters, they're on like an alien Slaneshi corrupted world. So it's purple and violet terrain with like a highlight of pink, and then like the rocks are black with a dry brush of silver. That's kind of, you know, the themes there. So for me, I've never really had the opportunity or never really pushed myself to do lava bases. So I'm certainly in no place to criticize it, and even if I did, I don't think I don't think I can say anything short of this looks fantastic. I really do. I'm not sure what you did here with like what actually makes up like that sludgy part you made into the lava base. The lava clearly is all, in terms of like its effect, in terms of its appearance, is all paint. But I'm wondering what you painted on to make it. My best guess is either a green stuff or another form of epoxy putty. My second guess would probably be resin, but I don't think it's resin. It looks a little too chunky and a little too textured over where the paint was painted on. That could just be my own application of resin working against me here. Maybe you applied it in a different way than I haven't. But usually it's pretty smooth when it comes out after it dries, depending, of course, on how you kept it contained to the base. But it looks, irregardless of whatever material you used to paint upon for the lava, it looks very, very good. The shading and the shift from like the molten oranges and reds and maroons to the bright yellow and fiery, it looks really solid, and I love that work. If I had to give like a tip or a recommendation, certainly look into airbrushing if you can. And if you can't airbrush, perhaps dry brush a bit more. Again, I'll put another example of me doing this with some lighting effects before. But dry brushing can really help you make like this lighted up effect. And I think you did a little bit here. It could be the lighting of the actual shot of from your phone or from your camera. But it looks like you did a little bit here with this prong from like the lava with like the little yellow here. But it would be cool to see it done a little bit more, especially around the edges of where the lava is here. And really get that like heated environment effect. As it is right now, you still get that a little bit, but it just needs a bit more to sell that this lava is right there, and there is a transition of like light and burn between the lava and the terrain. But otherwise, it's small potatoes. It is really well done. Like, I really love that lava so much. But elephant in the room aside, the actual miniature outside of that, I think you did a great job, man. I really do. I think you did a very solid job. Most of my criticisms are really minor, and they're over things that most people don't even try and do. So I do think you deserve a lot of praise for even trying, and in my opinion, succeeding in doing a lot of things. For example, the metallic like burn fade on this heavy flamer, I think. I almost said melta, but no, that's not a melta. The heavy flamer. I really like it when people can do like that fade of like that metallic burn that is there. I don't know what the term for that would be. I'm sure there is one. It's just not coming to mind. But it's clear you were going for that like that burnt fade of the metal from the end as it moves up the barrel of the gun. Obviously, though, the fade is really sharp because you have like the cutoff here, the cutoff here. It's pretty distinct for the cutoffs where the metal is. So, for ways to make that a bit more smoother without having to result in buying a full-blown airbrush kit, you can try and do wet blending to achieve this effect. I don't know how well it would do for this particular case, but you could always try wet blending to make like a little bit of a smoother transition from color and like the layering of the shade. But even without that, it still looks good. I think, and I still think like the simple attempt to create that effect is admirable, and I think it's good to even try, even if it didn't necessarily succeed, and even then it did, because I know what you're trying to do. It's just the fade is a bit sharp. Sorry. Overall, though, even with that being the case, there's hardly any like flaws, quote unquote, I could point out about the model. Like the color choices are perfect, especially for Raven Guard. And you really can't go wrong with that solid black. The decal applications look really good. I'm going to safely assume those are decals. If those are hand-painted, my apologies. If those are hand-painted, they look so perfect I mistook them for decals. But really solid work on the decal application. It looks like you add a little bit of weathering to them, so they blend in on the armor a bit better. Solid, clean line work with like the trim and on the black. Also the dirtying effect you did on the helmet. I'm assuming that was achieved with doing like a gray or doing a white, then doing like Nuln Oil or a similar black wash, and then going back over it, either drying, intentionally like wiping up spots from that wash to reveal the solid white underneath, or reapplying a white paint over certain spots to make a fade of kind of like a dirtied effect of a white helmet that's been through mud or been through rough terrain. Also, the fade you did with like a maroon underneath the bright red eyes to create that glow effect, very, very solid. Overall, I think the talent on display is fantastic. Very minor things here and there that certainly you could like hit on to try and like improve upon. There's definitely room to grow, but it's small potatoes in the grand scheme. I think you did an amazing job, and you deserve a lot of praise, man. So well done. Keep up the hobby love, and can't wait to see what you do next. And we come to the power loaders. Now, up front, I'm not a huge fan of these models for the sisters. I don't think they're dumb. I did it when they first came out, but I was being a bit rough with them. I've grown on they've grown on me a little bit since, and this is completely unrelated to the paint job and to the actual quality of the miniatures here, done by Sky King at Philosopher War. Right now, I'm just kind of doing a little side thing here, talk about the model itself before I get into the paint job and get into like the actual the terrain. Which, by the way, terrain is looking sexy. But yeah, biases being what they are, I really don't love the power loader design. I get what they're going for. It's like a reference to Ripley in the power loader against the Alien Queen. Like I do get where it's from, and it's cool. I think it looks kind of silly. I do. The exposed real arms were like just behind the mechanical arms that are carrying all the weapons and exposed head. I'm not a fan. I'm not the biggest fan of the design. It's grown on me a little bit, but I just want to throw that out there. I still have a little bit of a pettiness in me about like the actual model itself. But that aside, and that being voiced, I think the paint scheme here and the paint job here is very, very clean. I love the line work done with the paint and its application. It looks very, very clean, especially when I'm factoring in the washes that were applied here. You can kind of see that with like the fade right there. One of the pauldrons. I do really like the color choice as well. It's just traditional, old school Sisters of Battle color scheme, primarily black with a white / metallic trim. It's been ruined for me, but every time I see their helmets, I now think of like the wearing the panty thing. That got ruined for me because of a fucking meme, and I can't get it out of my head. But that being said, I really do like it. Again, clean line work done. Clean application of washes. Overall, I just really love the color application. But where I think this really shines and what really kind of steals the show for me is the terrain. The terrain is minimalist, but yet so effective in its minimalist application. Here's what I mean. I'm not saying like the effort into it is minimalist, but in terms of what had to be put on the base and what was painted onto the base, it is minimalist. And I say that with nothing but praise in this case, because with so little actual like clutter and things on the base, you've achieved such a solid aesthetic. Like, I feel that these models are all A, in the same environment, and B, that environment is very distinct and is encapsulating them into a moment in time, into a specific realm of battle and area and biome. It is so solid. Like that clay, like the disturbed clay and like a little bit of brickwork here. They're in kind of like, it gives me like the idea of like maybe like a ancient Greek medieval style world that they might be battling on, with a little bit of green foliage there to give you an idea that there is still vegetation in the area. That makes me think of like maybe like a South American style like biome with a lot more like clayed up dirt. I just really, really like it, and it's minimal stuff that achieves so much. And I really do appreciate that. I love the terrain, and I wanted to throw praise there. Everything else is also worthy of praise again. Classic color scheme for Sisters, and though I don't love these models, you make them look so good and make me want to forget a little bit of my dislike of the models themselves. All in all, really solid work. Love it, man. And yes, the Nundums. That nickname alone makes them grow on me a little bit more. But still, I just the power loader thing, like with the exposed arms. Ugh, sorry. Anyway, trying not to crash out about that. All right, we got a return of a good buddy of ours, Gary Van Horn at Aragoth. Coming back again with his Van Gogh frickin' Marines with the gorgeous color scheme. I honestly, I'm not gonna say much else than what I've said before about this guy's damn talent with painting. It's just the beautiful shading, subtle line work, clean as all hell painting schemes, and the fact that on little fucking pauldrons this big, He painted a full-blown Starry Night on each pauldron. Not only did he do it once, he's done it on every single goddamn model in this army that he runs, and it blows my mind every time. Honestly, I don't have much to say other than, well done, Master. you have done it again. I freaking love these models. The only thing I can really criticize has nothing to do with the models themselves. Everything I want to criticize about these models is in the model design. I still think these guns, these guns on these Marines. I can't remember what the guns are called, but there's too much going on with them. You got like a missile launcher on top of like a Gatling gun on top of like I'm not even sure, a ray gun there. Then you also got like the busy work of what's going on the backpack. There's so much going on with these guns. I don't love them. I've seen them before. There's just too much. Like, pick one. Is it a missile launcher, or is it a Gatling gun, or is it a laser gun? Like, one doesn't need to be three. I get that they're being over the top, but this is too over the top for me. I think it's a silly weapon. But that completely aside, that has nothing to do with the paint scheme on display, and the paint scheme on display is perfect. So I don't know what to say. I can't even really criticize the terrain, because the terrain looks great. Like, I feel they're in a forest, in a foliage environment. I got nothing. I got nothing for criticism. They're just too damn good. I'm sorry. I gotta stop having Gary on these two, because every time I have him and Chaos Creation minis, it just devolves into me saying it's perfect. That's all I got. All right, and the last one we're gonna look at today, I didn't have a ton to grab, but last one we're going to take a look at is from Art From Below. We've had him on before, I believe, on a previous episode, but if I haven't, I apologize. But Art From Below, at Art From Below. He has his Destroyer Lord here, and it looks solid. Now, obviously, we don't have a base to judge an environment on, so that's completely null and void in any criticism I could throw, but I'm sure it will look good. Paint scheme is gorgeous, though. Like, it is very, very clean. The glow effect, in particular, that steals the show. Yeah, like, I really love the recess shading done. I clearly it was done with Army Painters war paints. I don't know what that one is. I'm only just recently myself acquired some more Army Painter stuff. I don't normally use them as a brand, but for what's actually getting me into giving them a try is the fact that they partner with John Blanche. If they hadn't done this, I don't think I ever would have really dedicated a lot of time using any Army Painter paints. Not that I think they're bad, it's just I have so many Vallejo and Citadel paints that it would be a waste of money to get also on top of that a whole set of Army Painter when both of those service all my needs. Vallejo for pretty much all core paints and Citadel for metallics. So, that being said though, that recess shade of that glow looks so good. Maybe, just maybe, I should consider checking out whatever the hell that war paint is. I am now curious. But that aside, I really love the paint scheme here. The overall mini looks amazing. I don't have much to criticize other than put it on a base so I can judge the terrain. I can be a bit of a pedant about terrain, but assuming you put it on a terrain with a solid environment that fits everything else to do with this mini and has a cohesive aesthetic to it that the your overall Necron army all fit into, it's just more praise really I could throw out. As it stands with just the model itself, I only have praise to give, and the subtle edge highlights are really, really, really solid. The glow is on point. The fade on the weapon for the dark spots to the glowed areas, perfect. Honestly, nothing I really have for criticism, other than put it on a damn base. Whopping criticism, I know, but really solid work, man. And I love it. I love it. Art From Below, you did great, as always. And that's it from this HobbyLove. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And before you all go, a quick update to do with the channel. So as I said at the beginning, military stuff is not going to work out. I'm not going. I got disqualified, and the disqualification is being upheld. So it's just back to, I won't say back to my normal schedule because I didn't really have a proper one to begin with. So back to a better schedule than none at all. I'm gonna try and stream a bit more often as well. I'm trying to get my commission because I do want to get back to painting my own minis soon here, and I have to finish a commission for my buddy Caboose that has been long in the waiting, and I feel very, very bad about how long it's taken to finish that. It's just I've had terrible luck sitting down and actually working on it, but now I'm gonna force myself to make the time and get that done and get that hammered out and get that sent to him as he's owed. And then after that, starting to get back into painting my own minis again. I have a whole World Eaters army I want to get to and want to completely assemble and paint. That could be several streams of content right there, as well as potential videos. But as for Hobby Loves, I want to do more Hobby Loves. I would like to do at least one a week, but the problem is right now is I'm not sure where to get the Hobby Love stuff. Lord Metalman doesn't do them as much anymore, and understandable why. Like, there's so much other drama and stuff occupying his attention. I'm sure it's hard to do this on the regular. It would be exhausting, and plus, you know, not as many people respond to it, I think, much these days. Most people, when they have an update with their hobby stuff, they just post it, and they don't really wait for Hobby Love to, like, share the latest stuff. I don't know. Maybe you guys have some ideas in the comment section below. Maybe I could just start posting it on Twitter myself, but I don't have enough of the ats, and quite frankly, when it comes to that stuff, I don't know where to begin with that. I don't use Twitter all that much myself anyway, and I don't have enough of a following to drag a lot of people into that. I don't know. Maybe I could just look around other places. Maybe start highlighting random people as opposed to people kind of like volunteering their stuff. I don't know. Feel free to throw out some ideas in the comments. Outside of that, for like content wise, things that are coming up, for the gaming channel, I had a thumbnail produced, and if you guys saw on the community page, I planned to pre-record a bunch of videos of me playing like Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I commissioned a thumbnail art, a beautiful, amazing thumbnail art from a friend, Theodora, and I don't want that to go to waste, so I am still going to like make that series, even though I'm not going to the military now. Don't want to put the thumbnail to waste, and plus I still want to play the game. So for the gaming channel, which I know very few of my community are subscribed to, and to be fair, I hardly ever touch that channel and do stuff with it. When it comes to gaming streams, I do them pretty much all over here. But I'm going to be uploading those there with basic edits. If you guys are curious of watching me play Kingdom Hearts, if you're into that, be on the lookout. Go over there and subscribe. It'll be linked. It's linked on my channel page, and I'll also link it in the description of this HobbyLove. And lore videos. I'm going to be working on some lore videos. But before I work on the lore videos, I want to do a couple other ones first. There's lots of things I could do all at once. But one thing, you know, I do want to throw out there. I'm not going to find an excuse to make a drama video or a controversial video in regards to either content creators or 40k or GW or anything like that. I'm not Endymion. I'm not the Quartering. I'm not any of those kinds of channels. I'm not really much of a grifter. I only talk about news with 40k if there's actual news. If there's something actual significant to talk about. Yeah, I don't like to waste my time and y'all's time with finding every little like random Twitter post from user 4415 queefs a lot, bitching and moaning and demanding female space marines. I don't want to waste y'all's time with that. I only will make a video on that kind of stuff when I think it is actually something significant, something new, or at the very least, it's a concerning increase of a certain sentiment going up in the community. But generally speaking, I don't look for drama. I don't look for like chaos, if you will. I do actually, believe it or not, want to talk about positives within the community and within the hobby. But I'm not, don't get me wrong, I'm not afraid, nor will I hesitate to call out bullshit when I find it. I will call it out 100% of the time, but again, only if it's actually something worth calling out. So, you know, when I cover it, it's serious. That's the idea anyway. But regardless of that, yeah, stuff's in the pipeline. Things are being worked on. There will be more content coming soon, and hopefully you guys are all looking forward to it. But for now, that is the end of today's Hobby Love, and that is the plan going forward. Again, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.